What up, Detroit? It's Rob Parker, and coming up on Shop Talk, in the big debate, we discuss who will be the Lions' all-time greatest player in the modern era. Is it Barry Sanders or Calvin Johnson? You don't want to miss that. Plus, MLB.com's Jason Beck joins us for the debate challenge. And in What You're Sporting, it's a boot blowout. Shop Talk starts right now. Some people think the best place to talk about sports is on the radio. No way, no how. It's in the barbershop. I should know. I'm a sports analyst. Detroit is a 5-point favorite. Devin, save your money, I know. And I own a barbershop in Detroit. And the cats in the barbershop, they think they know everything about sports.
Get ready for Rob Parker's Shop Talk. Real sports, real talk.
Shoptalk TV is brought to you by Bob Maxey Ford and by Wingstop. Also, Nick's Chips.
This is Shop Talk.
Welcome into Shop Talk on this Saturday. I'm Rob Parker. I hope you had a very happy Thanksgiving. The Lions, of course, took on the Bears on Thursday. Their next game won't be until December 7th when the Tampa Bay Bucks visit Ford Field. And let's not forget that a year ago, needing wins, the Lions lost to a sad sack Tampa Bay team. So this is a big game. The Lions have to win their next couple of games at home against lesser talent, Tampa Bay and Minnesota, if they really want to make the playoffs. On Sunday at the Palace, the Golden State Warriors take on the Pistons. And, of course, all the talk is about Steph Curry. Even broadcaster Jeff Van Gundy said the other night that he thought Steph Curry was the best point guard without question in the NBA. And Steph Curry's really taken off. Obviously, he's a great shooter. But now, I mean, it's kind of Tony Parker doesn't count, championships, point guard leading the team. I guess it's all about what have you done for me lately. And Steph Curry appears to be the flavor of the day. Best point guard without question? I don't see that. And finally, if you can't make it to the Palace on Sunday, maybe you can go down to Cass Tech and check out ABA basketball. Detroit's team, the Coast to Coast All-Stars, take on Western Michigan, 6 p.m. I said Cass Tech. It's ABA basketball, really cheap prices, family fun. Give it a try. Getting Robbed is sponsored by Fathead. For real. Now it's time for the big debate. It's sponsored by Bob Maxey, the only Ford and Lincoln Mercury dealer in downtown Detroit. To reach him, call 313-392-9200 or visit them on the web at bobmaxeyford.com. Barry Sanders has had many big days on Thanksgiving Day, you know, a tradition here in Detroit. But the question today is more about, can Calvin Johnson surpass Barry Sanders as the greatest Lion in the modern era? And EP, I'm going to throw it to you. Is that possible?
Well, you know, when you talk about Barry Sanders comparing to Calvin Johnson, I think they both have very similar careers up to this point in time. You know, they both have had great statistical achievements. Both have played on bad teams, haven't had much success as a team. But the only difference to me is that Barry Sanders was strong to the finish of his career, breaking records, over 1,000 yards up to his very last season. Right now, it looks like Calvin might be tailing off a little bit due to injuries, whatever it may be. You know, his production has seemed to fall off a little bit.
Cal, what about you? Are you buying that? Can Calvin Johnson beat Barry Sanders? Is that all-time
It's going to
great?
be tough. I mean, we're talking about arguably the best running back of all time.
Oh, people say Emmitt Smith.
Whatever. He had a little
that.
longer and a better line. But anyway, Calvin Johnson already has the single-season receiving record taken by probably the greatest receiver of all time, Jerry Rice. So, yes, I think he's right there in that range of greatness.
Mo, are you buying that, Barry Sanders? Can Barry Sanders be pushed to the side, be afterthought, second string?
Yeah, I think he is. I'm not buying it at all because Barry Sanders, he's a quitter. He quit. He wanted to leave. Let's not forget about that, y'all. He wanted to leave because Lions won.
I'm gonna give you. That's real.
Let's not forget that.
That's real talk,
Calvin Johnson's
though.
not a quitter. When his contract came up, I want to stay another 5 years. I'm gonna stay with my guys. We're gonna ride it out. Oh yeah, a couple injuries here and there, but Calvin Johnson is still the best. He's still Megatron at the end of the day.
Mike, what about you?
I believe so. I mean,
right now he's putting up numbers, I believe.
So you think that Calvin could eclipse Barry?
Statistically, because right now I believe
But
Barry
I'm not
had
only
99
statistically
touchdowns.
talking about. Would you consider him the best? Would you consider him the best Lion ever? That's what we're really talking about.
He's going to be. It's going to be an argument for the ages, you know. He's considered maybe the best receiver so far. He's pushing up on Jerry Rice. Same thing with Barry Sanders and Emmitt Smith. So I think he got a couple more years left in him. I think so.
This is the thing that I think that Calvin has going for him, is that Barry didn't have any success in the postseason with the Lions. They did win the one playoff game that they've won since 1957 back in 1991. Now, if somehow, some way the Lions get in the playoffs, win a couple of games, make a run, and Calvin continues, that would kind of give them an edge because the Lions, even with Barry Sanders, didn't have that kind of success. And also, Barry still has one of the most dubious records in playoff history, -1 yards on 13 carries against the Green Bay Packers on New Year's Eve. I'll never forget that.
But I saw him run for 200 in the second half on Green Bay, a game that you sent me to, and had 0 in the
remember
first
that?
half. Yeah, 200 in the second half. So that's Barry Sanders for you.
One thing I'll say about Calvin, you could say, as far as the success he has and the things he does in games, what he does isn't determined by people blocking in front of him. He makes his own plays, catching the ball. Barry needed people blocking for him. I'm not saying he needed them. He made plays. But, you know, like you said, he had the negative yard rushing with no blocking. That's what happens. Calvin can double, triple team. It don't matter. You throw the ball up to him, he's going to make a play.
Cal, I want to ask you this. If Calvin doesn't win a playoff game in his tenure here, say the Lions never win a playoff game during his run, then don't you think it would be hard for people to look at him that way? Even though he might have all the statistics, his personal statistics.
I'm going to use one of your favorite lines. No way, no how is he going to be able to top that if they don't win a playoff game.
Right, they gotta do something that you haven't seen.
No, I disagree with that, man. Look, it's still Megatron. Wherever he's going to go, people are like, oh, my God, that's Calvin Johnson. Because of what he had done
If
with
the Lions
already.
don't win a playoff
They
game,
win. At least he took them. They went to that
No,
one.
no, I'm not
That's
buying
that matter
that.
right there. I'm telling you. Come on.
we'll see. Barry Sanders right now is still the reigning champ as far as the modern day with most Lions fans, and Calvin Johnson, we'll see.
Check out the Shop Talk Rundown. Here's what's coming up. More Shop Talk is on the way. Stick and stay, Detroit.
Obviously like to see better offensively, better production from the offense, both the run game and quarterback position. Defensively, we've been pretty solid, but I also think down the stretch we haven't been able to make plays.
For the latest in computer technology for Mac and PC, check out Southfield Computer Outlet, 28901 Southfield Road, or call them at 248-557-2222.
If you're looking for a used car, come on down to Bob Maxey Ford on Jefferson in downtown Detroit. Pick up the phone and call Zach and the crew at 888-396-6081. And mention Shop Talk and get an extra $500 off your trade-in.
Serving up hot fashions and style, it's the Restaurant Fashion Bistro Boutique at 18236 West 10 Mile Road in Southfield. Give them a call at 313-449-3603. Open 7 days a week.
You want to keep your car moving? Come to Royal Oak Auto Care. It's the complete auto repair center. Domestic, European, Asian, no matter what make or model, you want to come and see them. 31313 Woodward Avenue in Royal Oak, located next to Dugan's Irish Pub, or call 248-629-7576.
The best haircuts in Detroit are at Sporty Cut.
Home of the $10 all-even haircut. Hey, Teak, don't take too much off. Come on!
7 Mile between Outer Drive and Myers, Sporty Cut.
Looking for t-shirts, clothing, and gifts? Well, check out t-shirtpalace.com. Shop t-shirts or create your own design and upload it. Go to t-shirtpalace.com and get started.
Now it's time for Homeboy Highlights.
This week's homeboy is Michigan State senior running back Jeremy Langford. Langford rushed for 126 yards and 2 touchdowns on 16 carries, breaking tackle after tackle against Rutgers the game marked the 15th time Langford has rushed for more than 100 yards against a Big Ten opponent. Congratulations, Jeremy Langford. You are this week's homeboy. Homeboy Highlights is sponsored by Detroit's new ABA team, the Coast to Coast All-Stars. Check them out at DetroitCoastToCoast.com.
In a few minutes, Michigan takes on Ohio State in its last game of the season, and possible Brady Hoke's last game as head coach. We're here downtown Detroit to find out if Michigan fans want to see new changes being made next year.
We definitely need a new coach. I mean, it's obvious. We have no passing game, no run game, no defense. We definitely need a change. It's supposed to be Michigan football, not I mean, we haven't beat State hardly the last few years, so we definitely need to do something different.
Well, number one, starting with the coaching staff, we got to change the coach. Brady Hoke has got to go. Everybody knows, whatever it costs.
We definitely need a new coach, and we need a big quarterback who can be a big-time player.
Well, one that's comfortable in the pocket. Gardner is not comfortable in the pocket.
So, Darren, what changes do you feel they need to make next year at U of M?
They need a new coach.
James Irwin, do you feel that Brady Hoke's for U of M coach should be fired?
Well, fire is a harsh word, but I think that it's time for him to move on. Lloyd Carr was a wonderful man and a wonderful coach, and if we could get somebody to come back like him, they'd be in great shape.
Well, they got to get an athletic director. Wade Manuel out at UConn would be that's the guy I like. Get him, and then maybe, I don't know, you got to get Harbaugh. You got to get Harbaugh here. I think if they get Harbaugh, I think we don't miss a beat. I think, boy, we got the talent there. I think anybody else, it's going to be a rebuilding. Obviously, like to see better offensively, better production from the offense, both the run game and quarterback position. Defensively, we've been pretty solid, but I also think down the stretch we haven't been able to make plays where we've been able to.
What about the coach?
I think his time's up. I've been very supportive, but, having reduced each year his production, it's time to go.
Is there any coach that you would like to see here at U of M?
Jim Harbaugh.
Well, the fans have spoken. It seemed like Jim Harbaugh is the number one pick for a lot of people. We will wait to see what will happen next with U of M and their picks. I'm Antoine Marshall, Shoptalk TV.
More Shop Talk is on the way. Stick and stay, Detroit. For the best sports coverage on the web, go to theshadowleague.com. Coverage with a cultural perspective. Check it out.
If you're looking for a used car, come on down to Bob Maxey Ford on Jefferson in downtown Detroit. Pick up the phone and call Zach and the crew at 888-396-6081. And mention Shop Talk and get an extra $500 off your trade-in.
Serving up hot fashions and style, it's the Restaurant Fashion Bistro Boutique at 18236 West 10 Mile Road in Southfield. Give them a call at 313-449-3603. Open 7 days a week.
You want to keep your car moving? Come to Royal Oak Auto Care. It's the complete auto repair center. Domestic, European, Asian, no matter what make or model, you want to come and see them. 31313 Woodward Avenue in Royal Oak, located next to Dugan's Irish Pub, or call 248-629-7576.
Looking for t-shirts, clothing, and gifts? Well, check out t-shirtpalace.com. Shop t-shirts or create your own design and upload it. Go to t-shirtpalace.com and get started.
For the latest in computer technology for Mac and PC, check out Southfield Computer Outlet, 28901 Southfield Road, or call them at 248-557-2222.
The best haircuts in Detroit are at Sporty Cut.
Home of the $10 all-even haircut. Hey, Teak, don't take too much off. Come on!
7 Mile between Outer Drive and Myers, Sporty Cut.
Now it's time for Trash Talking Twitter.
Miles Jackson at Eyes on the Prize says, come on!
The Wolverines suck, the Pistons suck, the Red Wings suck, even Wayne State basketball suck. Hashtag stop sucking.
If you want to trash anyone or anything in sports, hit us up on our Twitter.
As long as you're living under their roof, you better mind your mouth.
Time to change gears. Here's hip hop news.
Hey everyone, it's your girl Elle Beasley, and here's the latest in hip hop news. Say it isn't so. Iggy Azalea beat both Eminem and Drake in the favorite rap, hip-hop album, and artist categories at the 42nd American Music Awards. Azalea entered the night as the most nominated artist of the year with 6 nominations and left with her first American Music Award for the new classic album. In other news, remember old school Philadelphia rapper Kool C? His main hit was Glamorous Life in 1989. Well, he is slated to be executed on January 6th of 2015 by lethal injection for murder of a Philadelphia police officer back in 1996. The officer had attempted to end a botched robbery attempt by Kool C and an accomplice. And finally, bad news for you Queen Latifah fans. The Queen Latifah Show has been canceled. Production on the program is slated to stop by the end of 2014, and new episodes will stop airing in March. The show is in its 2nd season, and it all came down to ratings and costs. All right, that's the news. I'm your girl, Beasley. See you next week.
It's Shop Talk's Cut of the Week.
Yo, what up? It's your man Small right here, man. We got the cut, we got the all even, the tape in the back, crispy strap line on it, put the razor on it. He's ready for today. Got the 360 spinning, strap along sideburns, crispy strap line across the front, a nice blend in the back.
More Shop Talk is on the way. Stick and stay, Detroit.
If you're looking for a used car, come on down to Bob Maxey Ford on Jefferson in downtown Detroit. Pick up the phone and call Zach and the crew at 888-396-6081. And mention Shop Talk and get an extra $500 off your trade-in.
For the latest in computer technology for Mac and PC, check out Southfield Computer Outlet, 28901 Southfield Road, or call them at 248-557-2222.
Looking for t-shirts, clothing, and gifts? Well, check out tshirtpalace.com. Shop t-shirts or create your own design and upload it. Go to tshirtpalace.com and get started.
You want to keep your car moving? Come to Royal Oak Auto Care. It's the complete auto repair center. Domestic, European, Asian, no matter what make or model, you want to come and see them. 31313 Woodward Avenue in Royal Oak, located next to Dugan's Irish Pub, or call 248-629-7576.
Serving up hot fashions and style, it's the Restaurant Fashion Bistro Boutique at 18236 West 10 Mile Road in Southfield. Give them a call at 313-449-3603. Open 7 days a week.
The best haircuts in Detroit are at Sporty Cut.
Home of the $10 all-even haircut. Hey, Teak, don't take too much off. Come on!
7 Mile between Outer Drive and Myers, Sporty Cut.
Do you or anyone you know have less than perfect credit? Has less than perfect credit prevented you from getting the auto or home loan you're looking for? If so, contact United Credit, a national leader in credit restoration and education. Having less than perfect credit can cost you thousands in additional interest and fees, and even higher auto insurance rates. With over 10 years' experience, they have earned an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau and have achieved results for thousands of satisfied clients. Let them help you restore your score and get the credit you deserve. Call them today at 877-274-7654.
Now it's time for At the Movies with Greg.
And I actually have to start off in the beginning. How long did it take for the hair to grow back?
It's still growing. It's hiding
Oh,
under here.
okay.
It's still growing. Yeah.
Because for those, when you go out and see the movie, you've got a very unique hairstyle.
Yes, she's got a very strong look, Cressida. Yeah, she
Mhm.
really does.
You know, it really does bring out more of the political aspect of how things are. I mean, we really get to see how the two different sides really fight against each other.
Yeah, it's a war of the airways, this first Mockingjay Part 1. It's a communication battle. And, you know, that's very prevalent for our modern day. Anyone who's got a smartphone now can make a statement, can make a social network, you know, a social media statement through the networks of communications that we have now. And so that's just really fascinating and relevant for a young modern audience.
Right. And then for you, I mean, obviously everybody, you're part of like the group that's fighting and all like that. So of course training had to go in for that. Tell me about that a little bit.
So if you like Cressida and her camera crew and you've come to District 13, you get basic gun training basically, which is what we all did. We did some SWAT team work, and for me personally, you see more of the gun work that I did in the second movie. But I mean, it was still quite physical and fun to do.
At the Movies with Greg is sponsored by Nick's Chips. Grab a bag and enjoy.
Here's the Instagram shop of the day.
Check out All Star Barbering located at 13223 Dexter in Detroit, or give them a call at 313-935-9293.
If you want your shop featured, hit us up on our Instagram account, Shoptalk TV. Now it's time for the debate challenge.
We welcome in Jason Beck from MLB.com. Of course, he covers the Detroit Tigers, and he gets his hair cut at Supercuts in Royal Oak. Jason, welcome to the show.
Hey, Rob. Thanks for having me on.
All right, let's talk about Giancarlo Stanton's contract with the Miami Marlins. 13 years, $325 million, all guaranteed. Did the Marlins go overboard, Jason, or you're with this deal?
Did they go overboard? Yeah, but I think they had to. They had to do something huge to be taken seriously. Stanton had all the leverage, and he could basically ask for the sun and the moon, and they would have to give it to him. And you saw it, not just in the money. They had to give him the no-trade clause, which they never used to give. They had to give him an opt-out after 6 years. The only real victory they got out of it was having the contract backloaded, and also respect. This makes the Marlins a team that can be taken seriously again, you would hope, at least on the market. Whether it means they win or not remains to be seen, but I think now you have to agree, people look at the Marlins in a different light now than they did a week ago.
I hear you on all that, but the only problem I've had, and we saw that in Detroit, top-heavy teams where you have guys where you spend so much money on one or two guys and you can't build a team and do what you have to do, is the problem. You might keep them, and I'm not saying that they shouldn't have, but Jason, is it about winning or just holding on to one guy that's not going to really help you win in the long term? That's how you feel the ballpark is by winning.
Yeah, but I think, though, with that market, Miami's a superstar market. LeBron James obviously owned that place when he was there for 4 years. Dan Marino was a superstar in Miami. Gary Sheffield, for the few years he was there, he was about as close to a superstar as they had in Miami baseball-wise. The Marlins needed to take that next step and get that guy. They had the guy. They had to lock him up. It's not just about winning there. I think you've got to be able to draw guys, and I think that's something that people have recognized in Detroit. To get respect, you've got to have superstars.
All right, I'm not going to argue with that. It is superstars are a good thing. But Jason, I don't think that Stanton will finish out that deal there. He'll wind up going somewhere else. And the Marlins won't win anything. Anyway, Jason, thanks for joining us. Of course, you did not win the debate, but have a great day.
Thanks, Rob.
Now it's time for a segment we call What You Sportin'. What You Sportin' is sponsored by the Restaurant Fashion Bistro on 10 Mile and Southfield Road. This week we welcome in, of course, JB. How you doing? Doing all right? And Brandon, you all right? Everything good? All right. JB, what you sporting?
Today I got on my Lunar Force sneaker boot. It's a boot, but it's made like a sneaker. You can't forget about that peanut butter bottom right there. It's part of the Mr. Where You Get Those collection.
Man, you got jokes, huh?
Oh, man, you know how I do it.
All right. Well, Brandon, what are you sporting?
I like those, man. I went back to the 90s when y'all got the Air Max 90 boots. They were so popular that Wale brought them back out, made a song about them. Fly to the rest of them. Still got my Nike.
Wow. Y'all both put your foot up there. Let me check them out. Don't step on nobody's foot. What you think? Those are sweet.
No beef.
All right. Brandon, you're a great guy and all that stuff, but take your foot down. JB is the winner. That's our show for this week. Time for some turkey leftovers. I need to make a sandwich.
Interested in sponsorship or advertising on Shoptalk TV? Give us a call at 313-948-6100.
And check out our podcast every week. Join Eric Vincent and myself, Rob Parker, on the Shop Talk podcast.